Apparently, they're doing a reboot of JJ the Jet Plane.
A whole new series, bringing JJ and his pals back for more exciting new adventures.
And I've got all the details on that. Not sure if that's ever going to happen, but the story behind JJ the Jet Plane is actually kind of fascinating. There's a lot of ins and outs to it. I want to show you the first thing I ever saw was this commercial. This used to play all the time during Space Ghost Coast to Coast on Cartoon Network.
These video stories open a magical world designed to inspire and educate, not overstimulate. They're fun. And they're funny.
Now that ad was for the VHS series, which was released from 1994 to 1995. This featured model airplanes. They were all supposed to be children, and they would go on these little adventures and tell these stories. It was done with some very limited stop-motion animation.
Only JJ's head and wings fit inside, leaving his rear end exposed to the stinging hailstones.
Now in some of these episodes, JJ's not blue, he's puce. He was supposed to be blue, but they used a blue screen, so they found that he was invisible in front of it, so they switched to painting him puce. And they used him that way for a little while. And then they got themselves a green screen, and so they were able to turn him back to blue. And so they had an episode where they showed that.
Looks like you got a few dings and scrapes on your rear end. Yeah, a few dings and scrapes, echoed Larry. Nothing a little sanding and fresh paint can't fix.
Now, this stop-motion model airplane system was very different than the JJ who became a hit several years later.
JJ's adventures begin at Tarrytown Airport, where you'll meet all of his wonderful friends. Snuffy the Skyrider, Herky the Helicopter, and Revan F.
The show was the brainchild of a Texas businessman named David Michelle who traveled a lot.
I was returning home telling my son stories about airplanes. And these stories about airplanes fascinated him.
The show is interesting because it combines several different things. First, you have the CGI airplanes.
You mean you don't know how to play hide and seek? Nope, I never learned how, JJ.
Then the faces are animated with motion capture.
Hey, Snuffy, how come you're skywriting?
The few human characters are photographed against the green screen, and the sets that they stand in are all built in miniature.
So keep that dial tuned to Tarrytown Radio for all your favorite songs. As a matter of fact, I've just got a request on the phone from Brenda.
The producers were very interested in making a show that was not just fun and wholesome and entertaining, but they also wanted it to have a positive message.
Our company is really in business to do high quality, positive programming for kids. And there was something about the storytelling that David had done that fit within our philosophy.
The show ran on the Learning Channel first, and then it moved over to PBS.
Thank you for flying PBS Kids Air. Soon to be landing in Tarrytown, where all the airplanes have a
Main
name.
character is JJ. The second lead is a female character named Tracy, who is simply JJ with a different paint job. Not a different face, a slightly tanner face. Tracy, JJ. In addition to JJ and Tracy, we've got Snuffy.
Nope, I'm not changing my mind. I'm staying here, and that's that. Over and out.
His face has kind of a muzzle, almost like a dog.
Uh-oh, I'm out of smoke.
Every time the sun rose, I expected it to be that smiling baby sun from Teletubbies. All right, so here's all the planes coming by. Look at Herky. Herky just wants some attention, and she totally ignores him.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
And then here comes JJ. Damn near kills Brenda Blue. Herky's the annoying character on the show. He rolls his R's.
Hey guys, watch this fantastic rescue! Herky, watch where you're going!
Boom! 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 Boom!
And he goes a little crazy. There's an episode where he's addicted to donuts.
Don't you think you're eating too many? JJ, my friend, there's no such thing as too many, you know what?
And we find out that this town has a donut shop named Andy's Donuts, which is a reference to Randy's Donuts out in California. There's a few other characters on the show. There's Big Jake, who is a big plane. and there's old Oscar. Both of these characters are kind of there to be kind of the parental characters. There is also a parental human character named Brenda Blue, played by Eve Whittle. She was a child psychologist that got into acting to perform for children in a show like this.
When the big hand on the clock goes all the way around, back to the same number, then an hour's passed.
Brenda Blue is also kind of hot.
As it slowly heats up underground, the geyser takes a nice long rest before the next big gusher happens.
Originally, JJ was voiced by Mary Kay Bergman. Now, if you don't know who she is, you have heard her voice in so many things. Mary Kay Bergman was an actress. She did some improv with the Groundlings, and then she did a great impersonation of Snow White. And she was able to do that voice at just the right time, because Adriana Caslotti, who was the original voice of Snow White, had been doing it forever, and as she was getting older, she couldn't do it as well, and she wasn't always available, and so Disney needed to get the second person to perform Snow White. She started to get other jobs, like playing JJ, but also she got offered a job playing the female characters on a show called South Park. Now, when I say she got a job playing the female characters, she played every single one of them. However, she had a concern about doing South Park. She was worried it might upset the Disney people, so she actually was credited as a different name.
I so admire what you do. Oh, thank you. I'm having a blast here. This is amazing.
Since the unfortunate death of Mary Kay Bergman, what's the game plan to replace all of those female voices?
Yeah, it's really been hard. It's, and we kind of realized right away that one person wasn't going to do it. She could do so many different voices, and we had her just do all of them, because she could.
The next actress to voice JJ the Jet Plane was Debbie Derryberry, who has done a number of different characters. She is perhaps most famous for voicing Jimmy Neutron, but I know her best as the daughter on the Carousel of Progress.
I think it's very romantic you're taking Mother out for Valentine's dinner this evening.
Well, you know what kind of sport I am.
The show was so popular that they did a live show that went around the country. I actually saw it at the Quaker Bridge Mall in Lawrence Township, New Jersey. I was just shopping that day, and I wandered by and I saw this giant plane with long legs. Character looks pretty good. I think that's not bad. There you can see him on stage in front of kids. There were a lot of kids there. Now, here's the interesting thing. On their website, they list all the requirements you need to have to get JJ the Jet Plane there. And, we just need to get 2 hotel rooms and all that other stuff. It costs us $15,000 a week, but we can get JJ, I think, to this day. They then revived the show in 2005. They added this character named Lena, and it was called JJ's Mysteries.
Like play, but we learn along the way. It's JJ's Mysteries. Yeah!
Now, the show was very wholesome, very family friendly, and so it found its way onto a religious channel. To do this, they did some slight edits to the show. They took a few things out, specifically anytime the characters said that they were wishing for something, they cut that out, but they also added some dialogue where they would talk about God, usually very briefly. I'm going to show you a sequence here, and this is the original sequence.
When the Wonderbirds couldn't perform today, I was ready to throw in the towel. But you kids taught me to never give up.
And here's the God edit.
Well, when the Wonderbirds couldn't perform today, I kind of forgot what the Bible says. That when we work together, we can do the good things that God has prepared for us to do.
The creators of JJ the Jet Plane also worked on a Herbie the Love Bug animated pilot right around the same time. And unfortunately, this never was picked up, and we never got to see this pilot. But there's Herbie underwater, and there's a giant tire.
Meet JJ and his high-flying friends.
This is the new one, The New Adventures of JJ the Jet Plane. This is listed as being coming soon from Trilogy Animation Group.
Great teamwork, everyone.
A whole new series, bringing JJ and his pals back for more exciting new adventures.
Go!
Arriving soon.
That looks cute. I hope they make it. I'm rather fond of these characters. I know they used to have one of those mechanical JJ the Jet Plane rides at my local Toys R Us. Go in, put a quarter, and then JJ would make you go, as you took off through the skies. They also had a Snuffy version and a Lena version, but I never saw either of those in person. There's one on eBay you can buy. There are plenty of other things on eBay you can find with JJ the Jet Plane. They had all kinds of little figures you could get. A book where you'd learn to tell time, and they had a little clock built in. Are you a member of my postcard club? Go sign up. For just $3 a month, I'll send you a postcard in the mail every single month. Be sent over to you. It'll go on a plane, and maybe it's a talking plane that sings and has a propeller and all that stuff. You could be like Michael and Jessica, Chris, Matthew Chapin, my big brother Rob, and Jamie and Tom. Go ahead and join today. JJ the Jet Plane also ran in the UK on Channel 5, and for the British version, they did a couple changes. Now, they kept all the voices of all the planes, but they redid all the segments with Brenda Blue, and they added a British actress named Vanessa Stacey playing the part.
I feel validated.
If you're new to the channel, I hope you take a moment and subscribe. I do a lot of content that I think you'll find interesting. All different types of nostalgia. If you're into children's television, I did a video about the Sesame Street prison program that they started in the 1970s. You can watch that video right up here. Otherwise, YouTube says to choose that one. And if you need more videos, I got a second channel. I'll see you next time.